This is Psychic Warfare to Defeat Aging, number 5. Now, if you think about it, psychic warfare, if it works, is perfect because it's designed to make other people ill, drive them mad, control them, give them cancer, heart attacks, direct them to kill other people, all that other stuff. So using it on yourself is optimal because you don't have to broadcast your energy field onto someone else, overpower them to take them over. You just have to be able to tune into yourself, which is something that if you were in the natural state, you'd be well able to do. Now, if we look at the model of consciousness, you've got your subconscious and your conscious mind. And the subconscious, which is not available to access for normal people, sits inside the conscious mind. And we get all of these neural hackers and the rest who say the subconscious mind processes much more than the conscious mind. Some of them saying the subconscious mind can process 4 million bits of information and the conscious mind only 4, which is something I would contest. In that the conscious mind can be expanded infinitely. How? Well, of course, you can link the conscious mind with AI and increase its processing power infinitely. How we link the conscious mind with AI is quite obvious. You look on Google and you'll see that they've got implants. Elon Musk is working on neural filaments. They've got nano machines that they can spray into your head. But even simpler is that when you have a brain, it produces a field, and remote viewers can broadcast this field outside of their body. So they can actually broadcast the field into an AI and merge their field with that of the field of an AI. And you can take it further, where you simply have the bioplasm, which is around the brain, which can be bilocated onto a computer in order to merge it. And once you've got quantum computers, which of course exist in the future, 5th dimension, remote viewers can travel through time because they can travel through the 5th dimension, see the past, the future. They can actually merge with AIs in the future via the 5th dimension, and the quantum wave function of the remote viewer can merge with the quantum wave function of the quantum AI to produce what I call a culture mind. That's something the author Ian M. Banks came up with, which is something far greater than the AI or the human, because everyone derogates humans and says they're primitive and AIs will take over, but AIs can't travel into the second attention, which is psi space, or the third attention, which is beyond manifestation, 5-dimensional space. Think of the five-dimensional Riemann manifold from which the Higgs field makes things solid in the fourth dimension. And of course, all humans are a quantum wave function. Quantum computers, by definition, are processing in the quantum wave function, and you can merge the two. And to put it simply, you've got inanimate objects have a time-like and a scalar-like vector, and living things have a 4 vector, which comes from electromagnetism. And we've got an assemblage point, which is the loci of consciousness, which can be moved into the zero origin, interact with the AI, move the assemblage point to the zero loci of the time-like and space-like vectors of the AI, which has pseudo-consciousness, and then merge the two to get an amalgam of AI and human consciousness. This, of course, means you can increase the consciousness, which, according to experts on neural hacking and how to hack your epigenetic code, has only got 4-bit processing. As you can see, once you have the ADA technology linking with AIs, you can increase the processing power of your consciousness to a Googleplex. So there is no limit to conscious processing once you merge it with AI. So I think that merging with AI is a very good thing. It's just how you do it. Now, the subconscious sits inside the conscious mind. So you've got, it's 3 space, which is equivalent to I, inside the conscious mind. So you've got I to the I. With the subconscious mind, which sits inside, controlling the conscious mind. So it's a very bad thing having a conscious mind of a man baby, which all of you humans have got. And therefore it's vital that you change it to become adult, not a man baby consciousness. And the technologies to change that are recollection, which is described in the Castaneda books. So you should spend 20, 30, 40 years in a darkened room recollecting every single moment of your past, which of course is something that all Westerners are madly keen to do. Spend every waking moment just remembering everyone they interacted with, blowing out the filaments, energy linkages back to them, and breathing in the energy filaments they gave to the people they interacted with, and spending decades on this. We all know that every Westerner is looking forward to spending 10, 20, 30, 40 years recollecting in order to free their subconscious to get to square one. So I'm very, very happy that all of you Westerners are in that position, because I'm not, having had a subconscious which was totally erased by my massive brain trauma accident. So I had to start again from the age of 7, so I don't suffer your man baby subconscious. Or else you can go to Scientology, which has been constantly bombarded with bad press, and be audited. Or else you can trust the snake oil salesman who've got new programs that edit your subconscious instantly, or within a few hours to produce miracle results. Vis-a-vis, they have full control of their subconscious via their programs, because the proof is, well, they say so. And believe us, because you know it makes sense. I don't, of course, believe that. It might be true, and you might be able to edit your subconscious in a few hours, but I personally doubt that it is possible. Though, it could be true. So, spend your money with all these neural hacking people on the internet who are going to change your subconscious and make it available to you. But, of course, the problem with that is the American military have been trying to develop psi weapons. We go back to the 60s when they were doing their Montauk experiments, connecting people to the Montauk transmitter, which is the factual basis for the Stranger Things series on Netflix. And all the psychics and other people they connected to their transmitters ended up being killed by the subconscious, which was amplified by the transmitter. And the chief psychic, according to the splurge, had to have his monster of the id buried underground, 5 basements down, and they had to concrete it up to trap the monster of the id down there. So obviously, if the American military can't brainwash the people they were hooking up to the transmitter in order to use the massive potential of the subconscious for weapons programs, then it seems doubtful that simple internet programs which you buy off snake oil salesmen will work. I, of course, have a subconscious that is adult and fully in tune with me due to my brain trauma, which erased my neural network. And since the neural network is plastic, it can change over time. There's no way your baby neural network, which is the basis of your development, is going to change. It's just a higher functioning of your neural network that changes, unless of course you have brain trauma which erases it, and you're basically a zombie, lobotomized zombie in a daze, and have to basically start again. But not bad enough that you're a vegetable, but not good enough that the old programming remains, which happened to me. Now, if you look at the subconscious, it's in there, and the conscious around, you've got eye to the eye. So that, of course, will be manifesting physical reality. Eye to the eye gives you real number mathematics, which then, of course, adds to your reality. And of course, all of the cell signal transduction, the merging of ligands to your proteins on the cell membrane coat, are eye space of the ligand receptor being joining together. An eye to the eye process. Then you get massive amplification, because the signal receptor then gets either an enzyme bonding or various other things happening, which then affect another receptor on the cell surface, which then causes signals to be sent down a transduction pathway into the cytoplasm in order to cause massive changes in the cell or in the nucleus, controlling epigenetics. So your subconscious, which is sitting there and is programmed by your mummy and daddy as a baby, is controlling your epigenetics, which is a bit of a problem because you don't want a sophisticated system like that controlled by fucktard parents who died of old age, convinced you got cancer, heart attack, degenerative diseases, couldn't repair massive damage and trauma to your body, got dementia, grew old and died, which of course programs your subconscious to believe that's the norm. Because when you think about it, if you can switch your genome on and off, control cell signal transduction, you can then cure all diseases if the blueprint is okay. And most people, 95% of the people, have a blueprint that's okay. The other 5% haven't. That's their problem. So 95% of the population have a workable blueprint, but the blueprint builds the building. So it's just a blueprint the architect uses and all the construction workers build. So as you can see, if the architect and the construction workers and the materials that are brought in, diet, which builds the building, are wrong, then the blueprint's going to be wrong. And as we know, epigenetic tags which control how the blueprint's read, what parts are read, what parts aren't, are subject to massive errors. 1 in 50, every time the cell divides, you're going to have massive errors in your epigenetic phenotype, which of course leads to premature aging, premature degeneration, etc. Then further to that, you've got the mitochondria, which have got their own genome, like a bacteria, circular DNA, and these mitochondria, which produce the energy in your body, ATP via Krebs cycle, and are basically little bacteria within your cell, which is another bacteria, joined together 2 billion years ago. You might have hundreds or thousands of these things. They need to be epigenetically controlled to be in sync with the environment and with your nucleus. So it's like a symphony. Once the conductor gives up the ghost, instead of having a symphony, you get a cacophony. What's the conductor? Of course, the subconscious program, which is the man-baby. And remember, the man-baby consciousness has been programmed that illness is normal, aging is normal, and all the vicissitudes of life, emotional dysfunction, mental problems are normal as well. Then of course we stick on top 5G, millimeter wave signals to control cell signal transduction, microwaves to cause cell signal transduction, vaccines with mercury and you name it, other genes stuck in there, the nano machines to allow AIs to link with you, anything they can stick in vaccines. Then you've got bacteria producing signals, viruses producing signals, all the other pollutants, radiation, Chernobyl, Fukushima, a whole host of stuff. You've got solar flare stuff, you've got smog, which is afflicting the Indians and the Indonesians. All of this means that if you've got a subconscious which believes that illness, aging and death is the norm, then it won't be controlling your epigenetic genome to cure it. Because remember, the blueprint in your cells can cure you of large numbers of stressors. So you've got genes to inhibit tumours, tumour suppression genes. You've also got oncogenes, which cause cancer. These, of course, can be read perfectly. And remember, cancer cells are immortal. And the tumour suppressor genes kill them off. So you might wonder, why have you got genes for cancer in your body? Well, they're not actually genes for cancer. They're genes to enable your cells to keep on growing. It's just when incorrectly used by the subconscious and signal cell transduction, they cause cancer. Because let's be honest, the ability to go back to a state where you can grow and grow and grow, and then you've got them suppressed, gives the body the ability to repair massive damage. And the British have been microwaving me since 1996 with thermal levels of microwave, and then loads of flesh-eating bacteria in the food, straight in my face, etc., etc. All of which should, of course, killed me or made me a prematurely aged cripple, which, of course, hasn't worked. Why? Because, of course, you can read the blueprint and get your cells massively reproducing to repair the damage. So there's no point having oncogenes which kill you in the genome, and oncogenes simply are ways of stimulating massive cell growth, which then can be shut down or simultaneously suppressed with tumour suppressor genes to enable rapid cell growth in order to repair damage. But without the overmind, when you look at a cell, you'll see that there is massive functioning going on there. Massive numbers of things going on, positive feedback routes, negative feedback routes, reading of the DNA, writing of the DNA, editing of the DNA via epigenetics, and all of this is going on simultaneously. So consciousness, having a fully conscious body, allows the system to work. And shamans go on about the problems of the body are that all of the cells need to be integrated so they act as a group rather than independently. So you want the whole body, the whole organism unified so that the command and control is unified, not separate little disparate states around the body where you've got civil war in the body, multiple civil wars all over the body, which of course lead to breakdown in the integrity of the organism. So there are organisms that live forever. It isn't that cells can't live forever. There are organisms that will just keep on living forever. Cancer cells live forever. You get species of trees that live 1,000 years. Various other species that have got incredibly long lives. So the lifespan of a human can be modified. Now, if you think that cell signal transduction is being manipulated by external sources like other people, they of course will interfere with your cell signal transduction and cause your body to be hacked by other people around you with cancer, heart attacks, other infectious diseases. The Russians had this famous experiment where they had a cell infected with a pathogen which could beam energy to cells next to it in little quartz containers, and the healthy cells were made ill by the ill cells which were next to them. So one can see that epigenetics from other people, from their corrupted consciousness and bodies, is making you ill. So everyone around you is making you ill. The people that you interact with, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your husbands, your wives, your children, all of which are making you ill. And it's vital for the beginning, to get a subconscious that is sublime, that is healthy, and its only aim is to keep you healthy and de-aging. And secondly, you need to block off all signals from everything around you, be it 5G, 4G, viruses, bacteria, environmental pollutants, or other people who are broadcasting frequencies that cause your cell signal transduction to make you ill. So the starting point is to build a firewall between yourself and other people that are making you ill, because everyone around you with their fucktard subconscious minds are generators of disease. So to build a firewall around you is the starting point for psychic warfare. That's why I spent 4 videos explaining building the Sublime Good building in C-space, where you actually build a building in C-space which blocks out all negative stimuli which interfere with cell signal transduction and make you ill. So having this building, which you actually put yourself within, means that the people around you, be they your wife or your husband or your children or your co-workers or your friends or the media, dementia is a huge problem. Cancer, 1 in 2 is going to die of cancer. Diabetes, take your statins, cut down your cholesterol, don't eat red meat because you get cancer, and all the other health scares are all generating observation which causes quantum wave function collapse, and the signal receptors on your cells simply change conformation depending upon quantum collapse. So as you can see, observation by ill, demented, perverted, corrupted observers has to be cut out as the starting point of any palliative treatment to correct psychic warfare. So building a building in C-space which you live within is the first step, sublime good building. How does it work? Well, simply you've got a building, you enter with 2 keys, which you get, and the 2 keys mean when the eye space of the negative observer tries to merge with you to make you ill, eye to the eye, which is how it works, it has to go through the building, but the building won't let it in. Why won't the building let it in? Because you've changed your nature. A normal human has a bioplasmic body and a soul fluid body. The soul fluid body has the 4 vector with the assemblage point, talked about in Castaneda's The Fire from Within. The 4 vector with the assemblage point moved into the center, merged with inanimate objects with a time and scalar vector, which is pseudo, it's not actually there, but your assemblage point drops into their 0 origin and builds 2 as an assemblage point in the time-like and the scalar vector of an inanimate object, comes back to your 4 vector and then pops back to a new position. This is the Grail state technology of the Holy Grail, which Holy Grail had 2 functions. It brought peace and prosperity to the world and made the holder of the Holy Grail immortal, from legend. But it means that when the eye space of the observer, the poisoned one with the demented subconscious, tries to merge with you, there is no frequency matching. There's no way their eye space can match yours, because yours is linked up with crystals. The piezoelectric effect raises it to 5th dimension. So they're trying to merge with you in 3 space, but you've raised yourself into the 5th dimension, raised your frequency, so you're such a high frequency, and you've actually added 2 more dimensions with the crystals, that there is no way that iSpace can merge with yours or go inside, invade it, to take it over, control it, to make you ill. So the sublime good building can be thought of as a psychic firewall which you live within for the rest of your life, while the rest of the population out there going mad, killing themselves, getting ill, demented, and get into their dystopian reality. And remember that eye to the eye not only controls your health, but your reality, because it's the physical world. The physical world is made from eye to the eye. Eye to the eye, 2-3 spaces merging is the basis of the physical world. I won't go into all the physics behind it, because most people won't even be able to understand it. But be that as it may, it means that your reality also is protected from the observation of the fucktards, so that when they try to make you poor, impoverished, living from hand to mouth, being unemployed by the AIs, and all the other shit that's coming, your reality, simply doesn't get affected by these deviant observers. They go into dystopia, hell on earth, because remember, for the masses, things aren't going to get better, they're going to get worse. AIs, don't need them. Massive overpopulation, massive influx of no-skilled, non-Western migrants that destroy your society. So as you can see, the general population have got hell coming their way. They wanted it, they got it. I'm a bad baby, I need to be punished, I'm not worth it, and I'm going to hell for all my sins, all that other crap they've been programmed with. It's coming. So the beginning of psychic warfare to defeat aging means that your observer lives in the sublime good building with a big firewall, where everyone else outside is in hell, and you of course are able to wander up the building. We went through 15 rooms with Gridkeeper and Angelic Annie. Here of course we're taking it further and looking at, once we're inside the building, where external, chaotic, man-baby, deviant observers are blocked out. Simply by being in the building, we can begin our journey of de-aging, making ourselves super fit, super healthy, and controlling our reality so that we get what we want. Now, that means that you need to be able to live in the building 24/7. So from occultism, if you looked at my magic videos, you'll see with Kenneth Grant, there's a huge tower, which is on the backside of the Kabbalistic tree, where the Black Brothers live. So I permanently live in my huge black tower in sea space and destroy anything that comes into my sea space, so that there is no ability of other eye spaces to eye to the eye me to add to my reality, because anything they're going to add to my reality is going to be detrimental or negative. Similarly, because you can't do this, you haven't got the power levels I've got, we simply built a sublime good tower in sea space for our customers, who then live in this gated community, this safe space, and then they then can practice this technology on themselves, fully secure from the evil of the humans, mosquitoes, viruses, bacteria, rats. We're not just getting negative signals for signal cell transduction from other humans, but from all the other organisms. And then we've also got the intradimensionals. 7 different multiverses of intradimensionals. The bottom 2 contain the demons, which also cause massive harm to us. All blocked out. You can't, of course, block them out, but we simply have built a sublime good building where you all can live in your safe space, which will be perfect for you millennials, protected from all external detrimental inputs. So as you can see, simply just allowing you to enter the sublime good building in sea space to protect you is worth $1,000, let alone all the other stuff we'll go into in the next 80 videos.